Deandre Swift as a starter, Matt Patricia's hot seat, Kerryon Johnson, Demoted, and Reggie Ragland over Jarrod Davis. Let's begin.
It's LeGarrette Blunt here, man, 3-time Super Bowl champion. I just want to give you a shout out to the YouTube channel, MicroMike, man.
Eddie Murray, former Detroit Lion. Make sure you watch MicroMike on YouTube.
Kerryon Johnson Jr. here, aka Megatron. Big shout out to MicroMike and YouTube channel, man.
Keep on talking everything Detroit Lions, and I just got to remind you, man, happy wife, happy life.
Before we get to the video, make sure that you like the video. It really helps out for my YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you haven't done so, and share. That would be greatly appreciated. Let's go ahead and start with Deandre Swift, the Detroit Lions' early second-round draft pick, how he performed Sunday, and some key notes to what took place. Deandre Swift had 14 carries for 116 yards, 2 touchdowns. An amazing job. Why is this amazing? Well, we put high draft capital on this guy for him to perform and help the Detroit Lions offense finally have a run game that we've not had since Jarrod Davis, and before that since Barry Sanders. With Deandre Swift on the field, he really opened up the offense and giving the Lions a run game that we have not seen for a very long time. When the offensive lines open up the holes, he did exactly what we drafted him to do, hit the holes, got in space, and make some big-time plays. Running and getting over 100 yards for the Detroit Lions group is a fantastic goal that took place because we don't have that a lot here in Detroit. Deandre Swift had 14 carries, and guess what? He was on the field more than any other running back on the Detroit Lions roster. He was on the field more than Adrian Peterson, Kerryon Johnson, and fullback Jason Cabinda. And he was not just utilized in the running game, he's also used as a pass-catching running back, and that is extremely important to Darrell Bevell's offense. We've seen what takes place when you can get Deandre Swift hot and ready for competing against a defense. He makes it open for the wide receivers and the tight ends alike. He had injury early in camp. Was a slow start to the season, but a season high in carries, a season high on being on the offensive starters is a great thing for the Detroit Lions. This is what we need out of him, and this will be going forward very interesting if Deandre Swift will continue to get most of the carries, most of time on the offense compared to the other running backs. In the beginning of the season, they said Adrian Peterson was the starter, and they were given times to Kerryon Johnson. But with the amount of carries, the amount of times on the field, it showed that he had the most. Will Deandre Swift have the majority of the carries versus the Atlanta Falcons? This is a wait-and-see approach. Make sure to keep a keen eye on this, because if he gets the most carries, guess what, folks? I think we're having a changing of the guard regarding the starting running back position in favor of Deandre Swift. Folks, Matt Patricia was on the hot seat all season long, and before the Jacksonville Jaguars game, it was said that if he lost that game, he would be terminated as head coach. With that said, the Detroit Lions defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars 34-16, and obviously he did not get terminated. He must continue to win. Just because he got a win against a bad football team in Jacksonville, it does not mean he's off the hot seat. He got to put consecutive wins together and defeat the Atlanta Falcons, who is a bad football team as well. If Matt Patricia loses this game, there is a chance you're going to hear rumbles just like we heard from Jacksonville. He's got to put wins together and get this team to 500. It is extremely important for his job to get there. The NFC right now is stacked with teams that are not good, and he needs to take advantage of this opportunity to help get the Detroit Lions in position to land a wild card spot. If he loses this game, it makes the odds much worse, and it makes his odds for losing his job much better, and the fan base will be riled up. Please leave a comment in the comment section. If the Detroit Lions lose Sunday to the Atlanta Falcons, do you want Matt Patricia fired as head coach? Leave a comment and let me know, and let's spark a forum, a great opportunity for the fan base to come together and communicate with each other. Let's turn this channel into more than just YouTube, more than just a video, but a place where we can communicate and have fun as a fan base. Because when it comes to the Detroit Lions, it's hard to have that fun, and sometimes it is good just to vent. We talked about how Deandre Swift took the most snaps at the running back position. You may not know this, but Kerryon Johnson had the least amount of snaps when it comes to running the football and being on the field with the offense. Kerryon Johnson was worse than, obviously, Deandre Swift, Adrian Peterson, and fullback Jason Cabinda. He had more carries, more opportunities to be on the first string offense with the Detroit Lions. That spells doom and gloom for Kerryon Johnson, who is 25 for 80 yards, 1 touchdown at a 3.2 yards per carry so far in the 2020 NFL season. With the season low on Sunday versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, people have to be wondering what's going on with Kerryon Johnson. Let's see what happens versus the Atlanta Falcons. Will Kerryon Johnson continue to have the least amount of snaps versus the Falcons? This will be interesting because, folks, the trade deadline is coming up, and if he is fourth string again of the amount of touches, amount being on the field, you would have to think at some point in the back of the leadership's head that Kerryon Johnson could be a candidate to trade. There's teams out there that would like to have a running back, and he would be cheap. If we're going to make this guy designated as number 4, to me, you got Bo Scarborough coming back. It makes no sense to make Kerryon Johnson a second-round pick just a couple years ago to be the 4th string to basically sit and warm the bench. Do you want to see Kerryon Johnson on the field more? Like this video. Let me know. Kerryon Johnson has a lot of fans out there, and he has a lot of individuals that may not be fans. Let me know. Do you want to see him utilized more in this offense, or do you want to kind of see what's been taking place with Swift and Peterson and Cabinda? Let me know. The same situation is going on with the linebacker Jarrod Davis, who is not seeing a lot of snaps here because Reggie Ragland's been taking a spot. Reggie Ragland had a career high 37 snaps on the defense with a 58% of the amount of time on there. That is a season high for Reggie Ragland. He is taking majority of the snaps at the linebacker position over Jarrod Davis. He's doing a fairly decent job in pass coverage, and it showed against the Jaguars about helping stopping the run. We've seen with Jarrod Davis, he's a hit or miss. And so I think they're wanting to go to an individual who is more grounded and understanding that you need to stay in your position compared to hit or miss. We seen what took place for the Jacksonville Jaguars. The linebacking core looked better, did better stopping the run, did better in passing. Was that a case of Jacksonville Jaguars offense just being that bad? Very well could be, but this is again something we should look forward to for the Atlanta Falcons game. How many snaps does Reggie Ragland have in linebacking core? And is he going to continue to get majority of those snaps and have Jarrod Davis kind of behind? Jarrod Davis had 11 snaps, folks. Just 11 snaps. A season low of only being on the field 17% of the time. Again, in favor of Reggie Ragland. What does this mean? Well, it means the Detroit Lions coaching staff seems to be frustrated with his inability to stay in his gap and his inability to perform the task at the position. Obviously, if he's not doing a good job, I support this. I don't care where you were drafted. I don't care how young you are. I don't care about any of that. At this point, if he is not performing to the requirements of what they want to see out of him, and Reggie Ragland's doing better, start Reggie Ragland. This also indicates of a contract year for Jarrod Davis, and if this continues, it's a very good possibility, folks, that Jarrod Davis' last year in Detroit is this year, and we could move on from him. No point in having a guy and re-signing a guy who's on the field 17% of the time and giving a contract to an individual who's just an extreme part-timer. Folks, on the upcoming videos on Wednesday, the Lions versus Atlanta Falcons breakdown, analysis, and prediction. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. Obviously, on Thursday, we got the One Pride podcast where we communicate back and forth with the subscribers live. And we take your questions for the mailbag segment. You don't have to be Detroit Lions fans to ask us questions because myself and the panel will answer them. And of course, we got the live watch party with the Detroit Lions versus Atlanta Falcons, 1 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be a blast, fast, fun environment. Do play-by-play and have some good time. So make sure you hit that notification bell and don't miss out. With that said, folks, adios.